Okay, you're welcome, sir. Please permit me to read the citation of Dr. Oluwadamilare Akingbade. It's a privilege for me to do so, and I'm so excited I was given the opportunity to discuss it with blush. Okay, so Dr. Oluwadamilare Akingbade is a dynamic community health nursing specialist passionate about impacting families and communities through research while building the capacity of nurses in scholarly endeavors. He graduated from the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech, Ogbomoso in 2011, where he was certified as a nurse, midwife, and public health nurse. He proceeded to the University of Ibadan, where he backed a master's degree in community health nursing in 2017. He recently backed a PhD nursing degree, having obtained a fully funded scholarship at the Netisol School of Nursing University, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. A nurse clinician, Damilare practiced at different clinical facilities from 2012 to 2017. A nurse administrator, he was seconded to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria by the Lagos State government in November 2017. He contributed his quota to upholding nursing education and practice standards in Nigeria until July 2020 before proceeding on his PhD program. A lover of research, Damilare and other like-minded nurse researchers at Fellowship of Christian Nurses founded the Institute of Nursing Research INR Nigeria, a non-governmental organization passionate about building nurses' capacity in research and disseminating findings. He currently serves as the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute and a resource person at the Institute's Journal Club, a writer to the core. He has several publications in peer-reviewed journals, including Telehealth, Maternal and Child Health. Okay, Damilare is highly committed to mentoring and inspiring nurses, a role he has played for over a decade from his days as a leader at Fellowship of Christian Nurses, Southwest Zone, Nigeria, and his current role as a project manager at the Focusing for Young Nurses Initiative and a lecturer at the Department of Nursing, Christland University, Nigeria. An award-winning nurse, Damilare was named one of the top 10 most inspiring male nurses in Nigeria in 2017 by fellow Nurses Africa. He has won the best presentations at many conferences. A nurse leader, Damilare recently graduated from the Global Nurse and Leader Institute, GNLI, a strategic policy leadership program organized by the International Council of Nurses for senior nurse leaders worldwide. He received an award to be part of the 2021 cohort from August 2021 to June 2022. He was recently certified by the International Council of Nurses as a global nurse consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear great nurses all over the world. I hereby present to you our speaker for today, our first speaker for today, in person of our amiable nurse consultant, global nurse consultant, Dr. Damilare Akingbade. Please, can we give a class innovation in the chat box to acknowledge our speaker here today? Over to you, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I want to especially appreciate you for the wonderful introduction. I'm blown away. You blew me away with the wonderful moderation. Thank you so much. And I want to really appreciate the Focusing on Young Nurses initiative led by our professors, Professor Adebayo Adejimo and Professor Priska Adejimo, and the host of leadership and NANSNM for this great opportunity. I do not take it for granted. Okay, and I want to also thank you all participants for being part of this. It's because you are here that we are here too. So let me share my screen as we move on. Let me know when you can see my screen. I'm trying to share.
Yes, we can, sir.
I can see it.
Okay, thank you so much. I was given a very beautiful topic to speak on. I've been privileged to speak on at different fora. What is the first time I'll be speaking on this topic, resilience? I've spoken so much on research and some other things, but resilience, it's something that is so deep. You know, as I was preparing for this, it was first ministering to me and challenging me. And I know that we'll be challenged today, we'll be inspired, and we will be motivated. And something very key is going to be added to our journey as we move on into leadership in nursing. So I've been asked to speak on the topic leading with resilience, a fundamental trait for aspiring nurse leaders. This is my content. Introduction. The nurse is a leader. I don't care the level you are currently, whether you're a nursing student, you're working in the clinical area, or you are lecturing, you're in research, or you are a nursing student. I don't care the level you are, 100 level, year one, School of Nursing, university. No matter the level you are in nursing, I want it to settle down in your mind that the nurse is a leader. One of the things we have mentioned many times back is that we've heard so many times is that we are the leaders of tomorrow. The young shall grow and things like that. And because of that, many young ones have had that at the back of their minds that, okay, maybe one time or the other in the future, maybe they will eventually become leaders. And I'm sure that not many are already seeing themselves as leaders. And one of the things I'm believing God that we all get from here today, we settle down in our minds, is that you are a leader. I don't care what you are currently, who you are currently, the challenges you are passing through currently, what is happening currently or what is not happening in your career. I want to assure you that you are a leader, and let that settle so deeply in you that you are a leader. And why is the nurse a leader? Now, because of the way society looks at nurses, the way patients treat nurses sometimes, the nurse many times start to think that he or she is a subservient member of the health team. And if you are here, you are a nursing student or you are a staff nurse, and you are allowing that to be at the back of your mind, then you are wrong. You are wrong. You must start seeing yourself as a leader. You must start carrying yourself as a leader, no matter the level you are, no matter where you are currently, as far as your nursing career is concerned. Now, the question I want to ask us, I want us to reflect a bit. Have you ever found yourself in a very difficult or challenging moment that you found difficult to bounce back from? Maybe you found yourself in a situation, you passed through something was so difficult for you, was so challenging for you, and you found it difficult to bounce. Anybody. Though I'm not saying the chat box now, but I know there'll be different years. Someone has said that in life is either you are coming out of a problem, or you are in a problem, or you are moving into a problem. Some people have said it's either you are coming out of a challenge, you are in a challenge, or you are moving towards a challenge. Yes, I know many of us have experienced this in our nursing career. You've experienced very down moments that challenged you, that shook you to the core, right? It's part of the game. So if you are here and you have passed through something like that, relax. You are in safe hands, right? You are in a good company, because everyone here under my voice, at one point or the other in your nursing career, you will have experienced a down moment like this. So why did I ask that question? Resilience. Resilience is the human capacity to meet adversity, setbacks, and trauma, and then recover from them in order to live life fully. Resilience is the human capacity to meet adversity, setbacks, trauma, but you are not sitting down there. Someone has said that your background is not enough reason for your back to be on the ground. I take that again. Your background is not enough reason for your back to remain on the ground. What you have passed through, what you are passing through, what you will pass through does not mean you should stay there. You might meet adversity, but your ability to recover from them and live life fully. What is living life fully? Living life fully means growing to the capacity, to the best version of yourself. There is a version of you that is different from the version that you are currently operating on, right? There is a version of you that you are expected to manifest as far as becoming who you are called to be in nursing is concerned, but that is not the current version that you are currently. So in this presentation, we'll be talking about how we can grow, how we can develop, how we can move from one level to the next level we are meant to be. So when you meet these situations, your ability to bounce back, come out of it, and recover from it and live life fully. That's resilience. Resilience is striving despite adversity and not simply surviving a situation. I know many of us at many times we have passed through a lot. You know, some people say they are seeing Shege Pro Max, you know, seen a lot of things in Nigeria, the fuel scarcity, all issues, you know, no fuel. All of us have passed through it though. I remember when I was doing my master's in University of Ibadan, at some point where I was staying, there would be no lights, looking from, carrying my laptop from one place to place, looking for where to charge, passing through a lot of things that should not even be in my mind as a student. At that time, I was working they are not paying my salary, hospital will be on strike, I was not getting paid, I was just roughing everything. And I know many of you hearing me, you are facing something like that currently. Your ability to thrive, to grow where you are planted, despite the adversity, not minding and not simply surviving. There are many nurses, they are not living their best lives. They are not living their lives fully. They are just simply coasting along, simply surviving, simply it will be better one day. Let's just go. No. That's not what you are meant to be. You are not meant to just coast along, just try and see if it's going to work out. No, resilience is striving. You are meant to thrive there. No matter the circumstances, no matter the challenge, you are meant to thrive there. I remember my mentor, Professor Priska Olabisi Adejumo, she told us when I was having my master's program that when you meet challenges in life, when you meet roadblocks, there will always be a way. And I've learned that from her. There will always be a way. You either go under it, go over it, go around it. There will always be a way. Don't take a no for an answer. And I challenge you this afternoon. Don't take a no for an answer, no matter what you are passing through. Resilience, you must be resilient to thrive despite the adversity. There must be a way. There must be a way out of it. There must be a way out of it. I wish if we are to be a physical gathering, I've told you to tell someone sitting very close to you, or tell yourself, there is a way out of this. There must be a way out of this. There must be a way out of this. The American Psychological Association describes resilience as the process of adapting. Yes, you are adapting well to adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. Many scholars argue, and now you might be thinking, I know some people, no matter what they pass through, see that brother, that man, that guy, he's so resilient, but me, I don't have resilience. In comparison to me, I get tired easily, I get fagged out easily. But many scholars have argued that resilience is not something you are born with, but is a set of behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed. And that's very interesting for you to know that resilience can be learned. As a leader, you can learn it. We are being made to understand today that we did not bring it from anywhere. You didn't bring it from heaven. We learned it through what we have passed through. And how do we learn resilience? Follow me as we move on in this discussion. Who are resilient leaders? They have the ability to sustain their energy level under pressure, to cope with disruptive changes and adapt. So one of the things I've come to realize as a leader is that when you have, Professor Priska will say, when you have tried to raise your head, somebody wants to put something to smack that head because you have tried to raise it, and that's it. When a leader is trying to forge through, trying to bring an innovation, trying to bring a new thing, there will be a lot of disruption, a lot of pressure, a lot of things. But your ability to find a way and still maneuver and move ahead and get your result, that means you're a resilient leader. They bounce back. They do not sit there. When they experience setbacks, when they experience major difficulties, they do not sit there and they do not engage in dysfunctional behavior. They do not go. There are different kinds of coping in psychology. We have, according to the transactional model of stress and coping, there is the emotional focused coping, there is the problem focused coping, and there is the avoidance coping or the dysfunctional coping. Some people, when they are passing through problem, they go into drugs, they go into sexual immorality, they just live their lives anyhow. They go into pornography, they go into different things. They just want to escape. They want to escape that particular event. They want to escape that particular trauma they're passing through. They want to escape, and they go into dysfunctional behavior. They go drinking, they go doing a lot of things, or just go to sleep. I will just sleep away my soul, just sleep, or just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and forget their sorrows. That is not being resilient. Is when you experience setbacks, you experience major difficulty, you are still able to shine despite all these challenges. Resilience in nursing, the breakfast of champions, is not cereal. It is obstacles and challenges. If you want to become a champion in nursing, your breakfast are challenges. What you eat in the morning is challenges. What you eat in the morning is obstacles. I hope I'm not shattering tables. I hope I'm not breaking one leg table this afternoon. Yeah, your breakfast is not golden morn. Your breakfast is not oats. Your breakfast is not Indomie. Your breakfast as a champion. You want to be a champion in nursing. You want to be a leader in nursing. Your breakfast are obstacles and challenges. And why is that so? Why should we eat obstacle for breakfast? Because that's what a leader is. A leader emerges when someone senses a problem. You still see, as we move on, you sense a problem, you see what everybody has seen, but you see it in a way no one has seen it. Everybody has seen it for the past 20 years, for the past 30 years, for the past 40 years. They have seen it that way. They have always done it that way. But you are seeing something that no one is seeing from that event. That is a leader. So these are obstacles, challenges, and they are breakfast. You need to chop it, eat it as you move on in your journey. Resilience in nursing, leading in nursing is stressful, like leading in many organizations, but it's especially stressful in nursing. I don't know why it's like that, but go anywhere in the world. Go anywhere. Nursing is stressful everywhere. Nursing is stressful everywhere. Check with your colleagues in Canada, in the US, in Hong Kong, anywhere they are, they experience a lot of stress, right? And even in other departments, even if you're in a faculty, you're in a nursing, why is nursing like that? Leading in nursing, even serving in nursing, doing anything in nursing is very, very stressful. Why is it like that? Maybe our elders, our leaders in nursing will tell us, will give us more insights, but I know that leading in nursing is very, very stressful. Nurse leaders have to deal with increased pressure and adverse work conditions. Deal with it. Resilience is a protective feature for nurse leaders' emotional and physical health. Right? So as you are passing through all those problems, all those challenges, there is something that will protect you, that will protect your mental health, that will protect your psychological health, your physical health. That thing is called resilience. You agree with me that it's important for you to have it, right? Yes. So resilience in nursing, the true grit of nurse leaders is not how they perform during the good times, but rather how they display emotional strength, courage, and professionalism during the most trying times. If you notice all these people that you can find there, influential nurses in history, nurses that we must mention their names in the next 300 years. If Jesus Christ is coming, we keep mentioning Florence Nightingale. We keep mentioning some nurses that we are seeing here and that you have read in history books. Why are we mentioning them? It is the problem they faced, though. It is the challenges they faced. It is the problem, the obstacles they overcame. They found themselves in very despicable situations, and they arose that it will not continue. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue moving like this. And they challenged the status quo, and they overcame those challenges. And that is what a resilient leader is. And one of the things I've come to realize in my little, I've been privileged to lead in different capacities. And one of the things I've always asked myself, why is it that it's not always smooth? I just want, if you know me very well, you know I don't like problem. I just want a very smooth, generic line. Let me just live my life, stay in my corner, and just enjoy myself and things. I don't like problem. I don't like problem. I don't like it. I just want to continue. But so as far as you have decided to embrace your call, your vision as a leader, you must expect problems. You must factor problems into the equation. You must put it down. You must factor it in the equation, because you will experience it. But your ability to perform very brilliantly, very exceptionally well during this processes, makes you a good nurse leader. Building resilience in nursing leadership. So how do we build it? Let me first take us through some few characteristics of resilient leaders. Number one, they maintain emotional equilibrium. What is equilibrium? That's homeostasis. They are composed. Success. Someone said success is like someone that is pedaling. All this. Is it duck now? Duck. We call it pepper in Yoruba parlance. When you see them, they will be paddling underneath. Water is filled, but over them on the top, they look so unruffled. The top is looking very smooth, looking very okay, very, very okay. Your ability to maintain composure, emotional equilibrium, despite the stress you are facing, that shows you are a resilient leader. Number two, when upset, they do not agitate others by spreading tension and anxiety. You know some leaders, I know we know them, when they are angry, they will bring the whole roof down. Everybody will know. If there is supervisor, they will shout at the students, they will shout at the top of their voice, they will shout if you are a student on the ward, it's serious. I've had my share. I've had my share of this. One lecturer told me there, gave me a very, 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 very hot word, that it took the intervention of the Holy Spirit to clear me of that. And as leaders, as tomorrow leaders, as leaders that are coming, be careful of what you say. No matter how angry you are, your words carry power, your words carry authority. There are many nursing students that they leave the university broken. We have graduated nursing students that cannot stand shoulder tall with their colleagues. They are broken into pieces. They are shattered. They are broken. They cannot face the future again. In nursing profession, they cannot stand with their shoulders tall because of what nursing leaders told them, because of what nursing leaders did to them, and they could not raise their heads again. I've seen people that it is in our nursing profession that we ought to be shaping lives. They left nursing confused. They left with their mental health battered. We are trained nursing students that should care for people emotionally, psychologically, but they are leaving nursing departments with depression, with anxiety, under our watch. As clinicians, as hospital leaders, we are there. We are doing, and these students are suffering seriously, and we are there. Resilient leaders, even when there are problems, I've told you, that doesn't mean you will not pass through problem. You will face a lot of challenges, but when you get to the class, your ability, when you get to the ward, your ability to maintain your composure, despite the fact that things are not going well and you are still moving, that shows you are resilient. They are able to tolerate ambiguity or uncertainty and adapt readily to new situations. My time is moving. Let me move on faster. They are able to handle mistakes or setbacks with poise and grace. Somebody said, an old proverb said, if you have not made a mistake, you have not made anything. If you have not made mistakes, so mistakes are part of life. They are part of life, the setbacks, but you handle it very maturely and you move on. That's a resilient leader, right? They are able to put stressful experiences into perspective and do not dwell on them. You're able to put them into perspective. You're able to, okay, this is it. Let's put it there. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is that? And they do not dwell on them. As a leader, you will not put it on your head. That student, you offended me yesterday. It's going on 5 weeks emergency. Now, what are you going to achieve after that 5 weeks? Is it that 5 weeks that will now make that student very, very... we need to be careful, actually. We need to be very, very careful the way we shape. Before you give a punishment, ask yourself, what will be the result? After this person, this punishment I'm giving, what will it bring out of this person? If it will make that person feel bad and it will bring that person down, then we need to seriously rethink it. Invest. They are also able to invest in their own physical and psychological health. A lot of nursing is about giving. And it's possible that you are going to give, you keep giving, and you are giving yourself, you are giving your health is going, you are still giving. Your home is shattering, you are still giving. You are giving, and you are not investing in your own physical health. I would like to give us an assignment. Because of time, I won't dwell so much on it. Self-care. I want us to go and study as a nurse. What is self-care? How can I care for myself? How can I nurse myself? I'm to nurse the patient. I'm to carry my assignment. I'm to teach. I'm to supervise. I'm to do a lot of things to nursing. But how will I nurse myself if you are not nursed? How can you nurse? If you are not happy, if you are not okay, how can you do your service the way you are meant to do it? You must be fine to care. You must be okay to care. So as a resilient leader, you must be able to invest in your own physical and psychological health. They're able to communicate confidence. That's very important. Confidence. One of the things that you must not lose is your confidence. You must be very, 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 very confident. Very, very confident. And that's one of the things my colleagues here in Hong Kong say about me, PhD. They say, Dami is so confident. I might not be as brilliant as you. I might not know what you know. You might have more certificates than I have. You might have more connections. You might have more, but you can take a lot of things from me. You cannot take my confidence. And that should be your own desire too. That should be your attribute. You must be very confident and remain steady during difficult times. Have the support. There is emotional overload in nursing. A lot of things we pass through, but you must have your way. You must have a way of supporting yourself and coping emotionally. These are characteristics of resilient leaders. So let me talk briefly about Gimbok's 7 C's of resilience. And if you're going to forget anything I'm talking about today, don't forget these 7 C's. I will run through them and try to round off in the next couple of minutes. Number 1, competence. I said that earlier on. So as you are building your competence, your resilience, one thing is that you must build your competence. You must build your competence. I tell myself, in any role I'm placed, I might not know it the way I'm expected to know it when I'm starting, but I won't stay like that. I will make sure I master that thing. You might not like me, but you will look for me. You might not like my face, but you cannot ignore me because I'm highly competent. I might not know many things, but this area I have chosen, I know it. I will make sure I know it so well. You cannot ignore me. That no matter the country I get to, no matter anywhere I get to, you might not like my color. You might not like the fact that I'm black, but you cannot ignore me. You cannot ignore me. You must reckon with me because I'm competent. So as resilient leaders, as we are moving on in nursing, trying to become leaders, moving into what we are meant to be, you must know your onions. That's one of the things I respect. I respect Professor Priska Adejumo, Professor Adeba Adejumo, our mentors, Dr. Yanolua Ojo should be coming up after this. I respect them so much. They're competent. You know, the first few classes that she took me in masters, she blew me, she threw me out of the window, in quotes. I was blown away totally. Competence. She knew that thing so much that after you finish a class, you are charged. You are ready to go and take over. You are ready to go and take over any mountain. Why? She was able to because she's very, very, very competent. I was discussing with a colleague of mine, a senior colleague of mine, we were discussing Professor Priska. She was telling us that one of the reasons why she was able to, she's so, that she has that power, that weight, competence. And as young leaders aspiring, let's not just be full of mouths. Many young people, they are on Twitter, they are on Facebook, they are on Instagram, they just do a lot of things. But when you look at it, when you carry them, you can weigh them. There is no sink and come back. There is nothing there. It's just noise. And there is nothing as disgraceful as that. I just making a noise. And when we look at the content, you can't find anything. Competence. You need to be competent in anything you are doing. Confidence. I've said that earlier on. Believe in yourself. Connections. You must build close family and community ties that provide you with a sense of security. Because when the problem comes, I didn't say if it comes, right? I didn't say if the problem comes. I said when the problem, because the problems are going to come. You must have built. Resilient leaders, they don't ostracize themselves from the department. Some people, they're just going alone. They won't talk to anybody. They won't interact with anybody. They're just on their own. So when the chips are down, they lose their minds because they have not built community, they have not built family. A sense of security is not there. So you need to watch that as you move on in your journey. Character. You know, they are also being able, they have a sense of right and wrong. I can't do this. My integrity cannot allow me to do this. This is very wrong. This is not correct. That is our characteristics of resilient people. Also, contribution. They know that the world is better with you in it. This one is very important. So as a resilient leader, you have something to offer. Don't let anybody look down on you. The Bible says, let no man think little of you because you are young. Let no man despise your youth. Let no man look down on you. You are going to meet a lot of people like that. What does he know? What does he know? What does he know? That guy is just full of it. He's so full of himself. What does he know? Let no you have something to offer. Tell yourself anywhere you get to, I have something to offer. On the health team, on the medical team, I have something to offer. Among professors in us, I have something to offer. Among professors in medical science, I have something to offer. You have something to offer. That's very important. Coping. You must be able to cope and navigate stress and challenges. And lastly, control. Understand that you can influence the outcome of your decisions and actions. So this are the 7 C's of resilience that I thought that I should share with you. So let me talk briefly about how you can build resilience through difficult experience. So how do we build resilience? How do we now build it? It's by problems. It is as the adversities come in you, as you experience those challenges, and you come out of them. As you come out of one, your resilience is being built. And that's the way the building occurs, principally, right? You build resilience through the difficult experiences you encounter. So when you experience those difficult challenges, you don't have money, you don't have things, you don't lose your morals because you don't have money. You don't lose your integrity because you don't have money. You don't live your life waywardly because things are not working. No, you can still survive despite those adversities. So your ability to navigate through these difficult experiences, that's how to build resilience. So reflect now. Let's try and reflect on some of the challenges we've had in time past. Reflect on them. Think about them. Look at those challenges. Did they make you or did they break you? Did they make you or did those challenges break you? Right? Okay. So what did you learn from them? You also need to learn. You don't just pass through difficult challenges. Don't just pass through everything. Just pass through and just pass through Bunduku like that. Sit down. What can I learn from this? What didn't I do? How can I improve on this? And this is how to build resilience as a leader. You don't just allow things to just go like that. You experience a setback, a failure on an exam. They failed me. They don't like my fees. Not the part I know. They don't like me. That lecturer. Oh, he has his favorite. They are people they are passing. Is that people they are giving job. I know it's this scholarship we applied. Those they won't give Africans grant. They won't give us grant. They know our paper. They will get our paper from Africa. No. Let's be open-minded. Right, as far as you are a leader is concerned, you want to build resilience. When you pass through challenges, you don't just explain it away. Be sincere with us. Sincerely look over them again, and you'll be able to learn some things from them. And these are opportunities for you to develop resilience for your future leadership in nursing. So you can count it all joy. You can count it all joy when you experience these difficult challenges because you know that they are building resilience. It's not meant to break you. No, it won't break you. You cannot break. It's not meant to break you. It's meant to shape you, to make you into the best version you are meant to be. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the 21st century leadership opportunities in nursing and just take you through this briefly. So I want to be a leader. What can I become? What are the opportunities? What can I do? What can I do with my nursing? You say I can become a leader in nursing. What are the opportunities that are available for me to lead in nursing? These are some examples. You can become a chief nursing officer. You can become a university provost or president. Yes, you can become a vice chancellor. We have a nurse who is a vice chancellor now in Nigeria. You can become a director of nursing. You can become a head of nursing department. You can become a health consultant, research coordinator, principal investigator, minister of health. You can become a commissioner of health. See, I told you, let nobody tell you cannot become it. There is a level we are going to get to. I tell you, there's a level you're going to get to that is, even if you don't want, is they cannot ignore you because of what you know. I can become a journal editor, I can become a case manager, I can become a simulation laboratory director, and different things like that. I love the book 301 Careers in Nursing. I recommend it for you. I've read it. I would advise you to read it. I read it first when I was doing my master's program at University of Ibadan. That time it was 201 Careers in Nursing, but it has been updated to 301 Careers in Nursing. I read it. It opened my mind. Some of you, your minds are limited. Okay, all I can become is either a registered nurse, RM or RPHN. That's all. But the field, nursing is so diverse. It's one of the most diverse professions on the planet Earth. There are a lot of things you can become as far as nursing is concerned. So I welcome you to explore. Are you ready? Let's go. Explore opportunities. Don't mind that because it's not happening in Nigeria. Who told you that it's Nigeria that is going to die? Right? Because it's not in Nigeria doesn't mean you cannot achieve it. Right? You can go anywhere, go abroad, go anywhere, and go and become anything you want to become. And you can even come back to Nigeria and still come and become it. Right? So let me share briefly my leadership journey in nursing as we see resilience in action. Let me share how I was able to, and this will be my last part, and I'll just give you some tips, and then I'm going to round up. Please let me know if my time is up. I don't want to exit by 1 minute. I want to finish at the nick of time. Please let me know. I'm not saying the chat box, so you can please interrupt me. Let me just interrupt and tell me when I have 10 more minutes or 15 more minutes thereabout. Thank you. So let me share my leadership journey in nursing, resilience in action. 2005, I entered for my pre-degree in Lautech. So I did PNSC 2006-2011. At that time, I was privileged. I was not privileged to serve in non-serve because I was not an activist, right? I was not too open to all those things. I was very quiet, very gentle, very unassuming. Many of my lecturers don't know me, right? Many of them don't know me, right? I just sit down at the back of the class because I'm very annoyed with nursing. I don't like nursing. I wanted another profession, and they threw me in this nursing. What are they doing here? And I came again, and people are not failing here. Why people feel like this? Why can't we just fail people? 30 people just fail. Everybody just failing. Hey, what kind of environment is this? People be crying. We see results. People fall down and got and be crying. What are they? What's the meaning about this? I will just sit down on the back, just look at everybody, and I just finished. But I was privileged to serve in the Fellowship of Christian Nurses. This was an organization, and I want to encourage you. As you are moving in nursing, every nurse is a leader, and everybody will have an opportunity to lead at one front or the other. It's only if you miss it. Yours might be in your church, in your mosque. Yours might be in your community, in your hostel. Yours might be anywhere. Embrace it. You are learning something from it. And this was my own training ground. Many of the leadership qualities I built, this was where my leadership culture was formed, and I was trained, thoroughly furnished in the Fellowship of Christian Nurses, Southwest, Lautech, and other places. And when I got to Masters of Science in Nursing, University of Ibadan, I was course rep at some point, and I was given some leadership responsibilities. And at this point too, and when I became a PhD student, I became a class rep here too. I learned some things. I was able to do some things in leadership here. And INR, many of you know INR 2016, we started, Fellowship of Christian Nurses started INR in 2016, and I have served. You had my bio as the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, and I've been opportuned by God's grace even to lead for this past 7 years. Yeah, it's been a test of resilience, actually. All the things you've had me say, this is one of the places I've been able to test it, put it to use, right? Put it to use. All this I've been hearing me sweating, hearing me saying, and I demonstrated here, right? So we started 2016, and we've been able to do a lot of things. Our mentor, she spoke at our LUT conference 2016. She was Dr. Adejumo then. We did rep campaign, done a lot of things, and one of the things that you note about these people, these are part of the leaders that were started back then. You can see that I'm still young, right? I'm still very, very young, but I think I'm younger here. We are leaders of tomorrow, but you can find something today that you can train yourself with as you move on, right? Yes. Okay. So I've been able to lead in research. I did my PhD and I got to work as a principal investigator on research, published, being able to publish, been privileged to publish different places. And I love publishing. I love writing. I write every day. I just write, publish, and yeah, just publish, shall publish. And Professor Priska caused it. She gave us an assignment in master's program, asked all of us to put our names on Google, type your name on Google, print out what you get, and submit. I got to 1.5/10 that assignment, and I motivated, I should write. My colon, just write, and things like that. So I was privileged. You had in my bio, privileged to. I won a scholarship. I got a couple of scholarships. My PhD was fully funded. I've got grants. I love applying for grants. And things like that. And I got this one too. I was funded, attended for free, and I bagged certificates. GNLI. It's a leadership. It's a nursing policy. It's a policy training program for senior nurses worldwide. We were 29 from all over the world, right? And I was the only one from Nigeria. We got some like four from Africa and things like that. I love the global stage. I love it so much. So if you are like me, you are welcome to explore. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities. Nurses must explore. Nobody has gotten it before. You can be the first person. And that's one of the things I told myself when I got here. There's some things that I said nobody has gotten here before. You can't tell me that. I can be the first person. You can be the first person to get those things, right? Important. Yeah. So you add about this to CGNC, Certified Global Nurse Consultant, is another journey that I started. And one of the things that will interest you is that when I was doing this, I was doing it with my PhD, right? I was working on my PhD. I was busy. It was during my PhD I did all these things. I did a lot of things. I was also teaching a lot of things during my PhD, and I did not break. A resilient leader, you can pass through all this adversity. You won't know if I don't tell you. I'll still be smiling with you. That's resilience. It's easy? If I open my mouth and tell you a story, you won't leave here today. I've seen a lot. My eyes have seen traveled from Nigeria during COVID, July 2020, in the midst of COVID, the airspace was short, right? The airspace in Nigeria was, I traveled by land. I first traveled by land to another African country. I traveled to Hong Kong during the midst of COVID. I've resigned. I've left Nursing Council. I've left Lasut. I've left different places in Nigeria. I've resigned. I will now be hanging. I traveled during COVID. The journey that should be 24 hours, I spent like 5 days. I was stopped at Ethiopia. They said students are not allowed to enter Hong Kong because of COVID. Sent my email to my school. Stranded at the airport. That was the story of the email. Stranded at the airport around 3 a.m. I was to travel 3 a.m., link Ethiopia to Hong Kong, 3 a.m. The flight was to move around that time. And they said that the plane that students are not allowed. So it was 2 people in that plane. During COVID, people are not flying, just 2 people in that plane. They carried 1 person, they left me in Ethiopia, right? Will I go back home? No, you can't. When life throws something at you, your ability to continue until you get what you want. And I told myself, I won't leave this place until I get that PhD. I won't leave. I will stay here. I was like, okay. So when I finished my defense, I went to Japan for a conference. That was the conference, and I've gotten the PhD. I cannot travel and things like that. So how do you start your own leadership journey? As a round of how can you start your leadership journey? Number 1, look for a problem. Problems are good. Don't run it. Look for them. Be looking for it. What's the problem in this nursing? What are the issues that we must solve? What are the problems in this nursing? Look for them. Tell somebody, look for the problem. When you see the problem, you begin to now look for, and that's what doing research is, search for solutions for problems, right? And believe in yourself. Believe you can. If you don't, you will not start. If you start without believing you can, you will soon stop, because you will find people that they will talk you down. That guy is too proud. That what doesn't know? He doesn't know anything. What doesn't know? How many sites does he have? What has he published? What has he know? What has he done? He doesn't know anything. He doesn't do this. But you must believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody is going to believe in you. Nobody will believe in you. If you have people that believe in your parents, your siblings, your mentors, thank God for your life. But at some point, you might be the only person standing. but you must not lose that belief in yourself. You must continue believing that you can do it, right? And start with what you have. Start where you are. Some people will say, oh, I will do it in the next 20 years. The glory of the youth is their strength. I've spoken to young men, for they are strong. There is a strength that you have. I don't joke with young nurses. Anyway, I'm opportune, I don't joke with them. There's something, I'm still very young, but even the younger ones, the ones that are in school of nursing, there's some things they know. There's some things they know. Somebody put it on, one lady just finished from NONSA, one university, and she opened the YouTube channel. She has a very big platform, 35,000, so big platforms. Young nurses they are cashing out big time. They have big money, getting big money from social media, from internet. There are a lot of things that young people know. If one of the things, the ways you will shoot yourself in the leg as an old nurse, as a nurse that you are getting old, you have PhD, don't try it. As you are moving on, never try to look down on the people that are young. They know something that you don't know. Not because of anything, Gen Z or Gen Z or what do you call them? All they know is their phone. Just the present phone. Stay there. There's some things that they know on that phone that you need, that I need. So what do? I partner with them. Anyway, I partner with them. I work with them. I bring them on my team. I need them so much. People be talking, say they are proud. Me, I want to work with them because they know something that I need to know. Right? So start where you can. Use what you have and do what you can. But anyway, when you are starting with what you have, when you are starting where you are, don't stay where you are. You are starting where you are, but you must not stay where you are. Move on. And you need to build a team. Agbajowo, Yoruba, Soya, right? You need to build a team, a very, very strong team. And one of the things that I've been privileged to gain as I move on, God helped me. I didn't know this when I started my leadership journey. I didn't know it, but God helped me. God placed very, very crucial people around me. And many of them, for the past 7 years, we're still moving together. Many of them are married, giving back to children, doing a lot of things. Some are in the UK, some are in the US, some are in Canada, but we are still moving together. Get that team. Many young nurses, let me sound this disclaimer. Many young nurses started beautiful things. They started very great things. But those great things are nowhere to be found today because of team issue. They start jealousing themselves, they start fighting, they start bickering and things like that. If God will help you to get to the top in nursing, you must have a very strong and formidable team that you must build yourself and work together. And you might not know it when you start, but as you move on, you just keep moving on and progressing like that. Don't run away from challenges, run over them. Tell somebody run over those challenges. Be open to mentorship and leadership. Dr. Joe is talking about this as a roundup. She's going to talk powerfully about mentorship. It's very important, very crucial, right? So that's the end of my shine. Thank you so much for listening. And it's my very pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, over.